Hello, Stampers. Welcome. I'm Pat Fairless from Fairless Stamp and Flair, and I just want to quickly show you how to make this accordion double gate card. And I'm just going to assemble the gatefold accordion portion of it. The rest of it is super simple. So let me go ahead and flip my camera down because I think it's just easier to explain and show you how to do this than it was to try to make sense in words. So this is the card, and it's on my blog today, and it is called an accordion double gate fold. And when you open it, this is how it opens. So this goes in first, and then this closes, and that's your card, and that will fit in a standard envelope. It is an A2 size card. But by looking at this, and even looking at pictures, it's kind of difficult to actually understand how this thing goes together. So that's what I want to show you, is how to assemble these two pieces. So I'm calling this larger base the double gate fold, and this is the accordion. So there is a tutorial on my post today, and you can download this, and it has all the dimensions for cutting and scoring. It also has all the dimensions to cut the designer series paper and so on. I'm just not going to assemble that today because it is just simple assembly. You're going to cut them and layer them. So there's nothing unique about how to layer on your decorative panels, let's say. So I'm going to skip down to step 13, which is where we start putting them together, okay? But I will score them for you first. So here's the double gate, and the double gate measures 9.5 by 5.5, and we're going to score it at 1/2 and 2 5/8 on each end. So we'll just do that quickly. I just used some lighter colors. One thing I should, when you cut this, if you make them out of the same color, I'm going to make it in 2 different colors because I'm just going to keep this as a template for how to do this the next time. And I'll keep it in my templates of fun folds. But when you cut your cardstock and you cut your base at the 9.5 by 5.5, you will have a piece of cardstock left over that is 3 by 11. So you can use this piece for your gate fold, okay? Or your accordion fold, I should say. You'll have to trim it off because this piece is 10 5/8 by 3. But I just wanted to use 2 different colors because I was hoping it would be easier for you to see. So this is our double gate, and I'm going to score at 1/2. And I'm using my Simply Score tool. You can use your trimmer. So I'm going to score at 1/2 inch and 2 5/8 inch. And we're going to do that on each end. So rotate it 180 degrees and score again at 1/2 and 2 5/8. Okay. And now I'm just going to set this aside and pretend that I cut this to 10 5/8. It's 10 5/8 by 3. And on this piece, which is the little accordion, we are going to score it at 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. And again, we're going to do that on both ends. So the first score is at 2 1/8, and then 4 1/4. And you probably get the idea here. 2 1/8, that's half of 4 1/4. So we're going to end up with 5 equal panels, all 2 1/8. So now we're going to do 2 1/8 again, and 4 1/4. Okay. So let me get rid of my Simply Score tool. We have scored everything. And now I just want to show you how to put this together. So our next step is we will take our bone folder and just give these things a good burnish. On both sides. And fold this one in. So when your accordion piece is done, it folds up like this, okay? And then it just opens. All right, so that's how that one's going to fold. And our double gate, we are going to fold these. This is our center panel on the card. So this is, here's the panel, right? So this is our center panel. So these both want to fold in. And again, I'm just going to give them a good burnish. As we always do with unfolds, you just want to make sure. Now, the 1/2 inch section, we are going to flip it backwards. Okay, so we're going to kind of open that up. And we will give that a good burnish, and we'll do the same like thing here. We want to fold this one to the opposite side. So this is now, and this picture is in your tutorial as well. Right here in your tutorial, this is what this looks like. You have this little center panel that folds together here in the center, and you have these two little 1/2 inch flaps. Now, the accordion part, you can see, we don't see these flaps up here, and so this is how we do it. We take our, once this is decorated, you would now want to put your designer series paper decorative panels on here and on here. Any sentiment section you want to do in the center, if you want to do that, go ahead. Get all of that done. You can do this last, but keep it so it's flat. But you want to make sure these panels are all on there, on both of these. All right, now we're going to take this and we are just going to eyeball it. If you're really anal, you can measure, but I'm just going to eyeball it vertically, so it's about in the center vertically, and it's, this small panel is approximately centered on there as best we can. Now take a pencil and just make a light mark, and it's all right, you'll have a mark on your designer series paper, but you can take that off with an eraser. And then we're going to put this little, we're going to also mark this out here, okay? And you're probably figuring out now how this goes. So that these don't show, all we want to do is adhere it to this and this and this, right? And that's how we get this. So we're going to take our paper snips, and I'm just going to cut these off. And you want to be, if anything, be on the inside of your score line, because you don't really need to see that score line. You'd like that just to be a nice straight edge. So just cut along there. And if you want to go in just a smidge further so that it's, so that you're not seeing it, possibly peek out behind your edge of your accordion, you can do that. So maybe the width of your scissors, just go in a little bit more and cut this off. And once you get it all adhered together, if you have to go back and trim something, it's no big deal. I did it on mine. I didn't realize to cut this on the inside edge of the score line, nor did I realize that it was helpful to make this a little bit shorter, just because then I don't have to worry about it peeking out behind my accordion. Okay, and that is that. So now pretend this is, everything's assembled, and we're just going to adhere here, center it back in our lines. And I'm just going to add some adhesive on here. You can use whatever kind of adhesive you like. I would suggest probably either liquid or tear and tape, because you do want it to be relatively strong adhesive. And now we can, nice thing about liquid is if you have to move it a little bit, you can. And if you can see your lines, I can't really see mine, but take like a white eraser and just go along there and erase that if you can see anything. I can see it a little bit on the top. But the white eraser will just do a nicer job. And mine wants to keep on that particular pencil, so I have one of these from my days as an engineer. Okay. And now we are going to put adhesive on this. And here tear and tape actually does work quite well. I thought I grabbed my tear and tape, but maybe I didn't. Oh, all right, so we're going to use liquid adhesive. That doesn't matter, like I said. You can use whatever you want. Okay, and then just lay it, push it down. And do the same thing on the other side. Got it, glue on my table. So we'll wipe that on my pants. Okay. And that, so now our template is finished. And if you want to go back here and just trim these up, so, or maybe just take your bone folder. Once it's all decorated, you're not going to see it the same way you're seeing it on my template because I don't have any pretty stuff here to hide it, right? But this is now a template, and I can mark this up. I can write on here, okay, this gatefold is 9.5 by 5.5. And I scored out here at 1/2. So this is a half. This would be a 1/2 inch, and you can mark that on here if you want, if that helps you later. And then this one is marked at 2 5/8. And these are the same on this side. And this was 1/2. And I can do the same thing on here. That way when I file this little pattern in my container of fun folds, I've got 10 5/8 by 3 inches. And here I scored at 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. And then again, here's 2 1/8 on this side. If you wanted to figure this out, you could, but it's easier just to flip it over, quite frankly. So now I can file this away, and I have my template to easily remember how to do this the next time. But I hope that helps you guys. I didn't want to take a lot of time, but explaining this in writing, it is explained as best I could down here, the steps on doing this. And there is a diagram here that shows after you cut this is what it should look like. You will have these 2 little 1/2 inch tabs out here, and it's got the score dimensions. So I hope that helped, guys. And I'm going to flip this back and say goodbye. Thank you. Thank you for looking at my blog. And if you found this helpful, I'd love to have you leave a comment. If you have questions, please leave those as well. It's probably even more important if I know something is not clear. But I hope that helps, and have a great day. Thank you. God bless.